back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. We have Mark Mothersbaugh. Mark, is that, did I get your name last name right? And Jerry Casale.
Right.
Gentlemen, and the only reason that you two guys, 2 chairs as opposed to 4, right?
Right.
As opposed to 5.
Right.
So you're the spokespeople for the group. Is that fair enough to assume?
Yeah, they made us do it.
By default.
They made you do it. Let me ask you, first of all, about the potatoes here. What are we dealing with
Well,
on the album cover?
it's pretty literal.
So pretty much what it looks like is what it means.
5 identical spuds hovering down the road of life, looking for bin, sweet bin.
And and the collars that you have on now, explain those if you will.
Well, there's a lot of uses for these. Some people think they're toilet seats. They're not. They're floppy disks, actually, and there's a lot of genetic information tied up in here.
And these are the spud collars? Would
Yeah,
that be
the
correct?
spud rings.
Spud rings.
Spud
Yeah,
rings,
they're
yeah.
multi-purpose. They're real good when you get a haircut.
Yeah.
Keep the hair off your shoulders.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can do with them.
Yeah.
Upside down, they make a great snack tray if you're watching the David Letterman show late at night. You put your potato chips over here and your dip over here. You never have to take your eyes off the screen.
And these are all inextricably linked to devolution, is this correct?
I'd say so.
Yeah. And what is that exactly?
Well, once again, it's pretty much like it sounds. It's inverse evolution, entropy, things winding down.
We're regressing then.
Oh, absolutely.
At a dangerous rate?
Not dangerous enough. It just, you know, things go, things go on and on and on. Everybody always predicts the big tragedy, but it just keeps going on. You know, the spuds just keep trickling down.
Yeah. Can I ask you some, you brought some other accoutrements here. We had the spud ring we looked at. Of course, this, the flower pot.
An earlier source of derision from the Freedom of Choice record.
Right, it was called a lampshade by many. Although you really wouldn't want to use it for a lampshade because we've tried it and they melt.
It
melts, yeah.
And it's not a flower pot either. There's no drainage. If you put dirt in it, it tips. It was a polyethylene or rather ABS plastic energy dome, directly proportionate to Aztec temples.
And you would wear these. Where would you wear these? I mean,
in
on your
airports,
hand, of course.
on TV, in concert.
Funerals. Actually, one of the better uses we found is some fan mail. Kids have sent in saying they've used it for Jello molds, but Otto John. There's a lot of kids that are using their hats for Otto John as well.
And your original purpose for these was
Protection, basically. We wanted to show up on stage and not be hurt by flying objects. So we had hard hat inserts put inside so that they'd fit tight on our heads.
Right, and they work there are a lot of things you can do with it. You have to keep it out of the oven.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put it in the oven,
see what happens.
yeah, don't bake a cake. I'll show. This is to show you what happens if you do try and put it in the oven. Just a second. Let's 450 degrees. Ready?
Yep.
That's a word for all those. There's what, 20,000 of these out there somewhere?
That's right.
So,
Keep it out of the oven.
Right.
So if you put it in the oven, you'll come over and stomp it? That's what happened? Let me, now this is from is this in the new album, right? You can send away and get stuff. Let me ask you about a couple of these things. The action vest, instantly transform normal street clothing into devolved action wear with this tailored Tyvek vest.
Right.
I don't know if maybe we can get it.
They're bulletproof.
Right here.
Our fans collect a lot of negative energy that was meant for us.
Actually, they were developed they were designed around a fencing vest design. And a lot of people like to wear disposable kind of vests that look like they're down-filled vests, so, you know, that get into the American spirit, the Bud spirit. And we just transformed that a little. This has a strap, an elastic strap that goes between your legs.
Let me ask you
That's
about...
a selling point, actually.
Yeah, the elastic strap, yeah. That's what turned me around on the whole topic. Now this you have the Devo Easy Listening Cassette. Muzak versions of your favorite Devo tunes performed by Devo at a rare casual moment. Mutated versions of Devo classics, Whippet, Mongoloid, and many others round out this limited edition collector's item. Is that the truth?
That is the truth.
How much would one of these go for?
It's fairly cheap. I think it's about $5.
Oh, yeah, that is a bargain. $4.50.
$4.50. Yeah. That's even less.
Yeah, and it goes on and on and on. So, pretty good stuff. You're making a lot of money on these?
No, not at all. It was actually a response, quite seriously. It was a response to people wanting everything we made for ourselves to wear. And we made, in addition to that, like last year, a cassette, self-made Muzaks, so that we do things to ourselves before other people can do them to us, kind of self-demeaning. And it's basically the Devo aesthetic. And we played it before we would come on stage in live concerts throughout America, and pretty soon people were coming up to our sound men and various members of the crew saying, "Where can I get that? I want that." And so it was one more thing we had to make available, because otherwise they'd try and steal it from the soundboard.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the origin of the group. We've touched on the philosophy, but tell us how it came together.
It came together in Ohio, Akron, Ohio. Well, we have some fellow victims, I see. And I met Mark at Kent State University, and we started forming Devo around 1975. And it was based on the idea that we were foolish enough to believe that video discs and videotapes were going to take over the very next 2 years, and we had a kind of idea for an integration between music and video back then that we were serious about and still are serious about, and started pursuing that. And found out that obviously there was a left turn somewhere in the industry.
And you were pioneers in video discs, weren't you?
Yeah, which means you get a lot of mention but make no money.
Now, when people come to see you in concert, are they often dressed up with the stuff that they've ordered?
Yeah, oftentimes, yeah.
Yeah. Now, during a concert, you keep your talking to the audience to a minimum, don't you?
That's right. I think we're there to play, not talk.
Yeah.
And we don't like to stretch out the time with raps about, I saw this girl on the street, whatever.
Is it hard to keep interested when we're actually not communicating with the audience?
I wouldn't say we're not communicating.
Verbally, though.
Well, we are using our voices, and
we got more information per minute going on in a Devo concert than at most shows.
No, yeah, but not talking to them, that's no problem.
No, that's no problem at all. In fact, they would probably resent it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Pleasure meeting you, gentlemen. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We'll be back. We have to pause for a commercial. We'll continue this program, folks. Hi there, and welcome back to the program. Mark Mothersbaugh and Jerry Casale from Devo are here. We're going to meet the other members of the organization in a moment or two. Any new looks that we can be on the lookout for from the group?
Well, actually, what we've been putting together that we're currently doing in concert is putting the video together with Devo Live rather than having it be two separate entities that are unrelated. And so, as in that bit of peekaboo that you may or may not have been able to ascertain from that little snippet, is that we have a rear screen projection that's like over 20 feet wide and about 15 feet high of images and more or less like storylines in video that is rear projected and in sync with the music, so that Devo relates with the screen, in scale and content and design, so that even characters come out on film and interact with Devo and sing backup vocals and so on. And it's all synchronous. And it took a while to get that together so that it actually worked.
Yeah.
And it does, I mean, to our satisfaction right now.
What do you guys hope for in the future, like 5 years from now, for yourselves?
Oh, maybe like make a record that sells enough so that we could subject ourselves to recombinant DNA experiments or something like that.
Well, gosh, good luck. You're the first guest who's had that dream, by the way.
We have strange dreams.
Well, that's interesting. You wanna we'll bring the other gentleman out here,
sure.
And Jerry, if you go ahead and introduce the folks to this. Hi, how do you do?
They can actually speak.
Oh, well, good. Well, yeah, we'll do it that way. Your name?
Bob.
Bob? Okay,
Bob 2.
Bob 2.
Yes, we have.
Yes, sir.
Bob.
Bob? Bob, nice to see you.
Bob
sir.
1.
Bob 1?
Alan.
Alan? Any numbers, Alan?
No, just...
Okay. And where are you guys, as they always say, where are you going from here, as it were?
Nowhere, just back on the road.
Uh-huh. Any particular town that you'd care to mention at this point?
Well, all of them that we haven't been in. No, actually, we're going to go through the Southwest and then across the South and then into the California region and into the Northwest, the obvious kind of sweep. We're trying to run away from winter.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Nice meeting you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming out here. Devo, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody in the studio audience, also Mr. Pee Wee Herman, Paul Schaefer in the band, Bill Wendell, our announcer. We'll see you Monday night with Frank Capra and Carol Kane. Thank you very much. Good night, folks.